Good evening. This is Tyrone Holmes, founder and CEO of the MSF Fidelis. We welcome you back to another broadcast of the Trauma Network. We are so glad to be back with you again. We are just so excited. Each and every week it just seems like God blesses us with another topic to deal with, dealing with issues that deal with men. And I'm telling you, we really need a lot of help as men, and we just need to just swallow our pride and say, yes, I need help. I need to reach out to somebody that's going to believe in me and want to listen to me. That's what we do here at MSF. We want you to be able to open up and share your problems with us, and that's why we have our hotline for you to call, or you can call my line directly. That's what it's all about, you know. And this is serious. This is not a game. We're not doing this for fun. It's a serious situation, and it's not black men. It's all men across the board that really need help. And if we're going to get back to how God created us to be, then we're already on a road of destruction. But if we can save 1, 2, 3, maybe 10 or 1,000, we have done enough to touch that 1,000. They can touch another 1,000, and so on and so forth. So that's what it's all about. We welcome Brother Dwight back today. How you doing, brother? God bless you, brother. Good to have you back again. Brother Josh is not here with us tonight. He's ill, under the weather. Me and Brother Dwight were saying, it always seems that when we get into different topics, it always seems that Brother Josh is not here. But that's the enemy. That's the enemy doing that, because he knows when we have something that's powerful, he tries to keep somebody else out of the loop. But we're going to still press on regardless, because we're not going to stop. We're never going to stop, because God has commissioned me to go forth and to bring this word to you about men, and I'm just not going to give up, and I'm not going to stop on that. So we welcome you back again tonight, another very powerful broadcast again tonight. I hope that you're ready, and I know this is on all our minds. It's not only black people, but all people across the board. And our subject matter for tonight is, why are we so afraid of young black men? Why are we so afraid of young black men? And we're going to really get down into the history of how all this stuff began, why it began, and why has it continued to this day. And it has not stopped. It's not going to stop, because the enemy's job is to suppress men in general, not just black men, but men in general across the board, to keep us down. Because we know if he keeps us down, then we cannot protect, we can't provide, and we can't lead. Right. We can't do none of those things. So he continues to do that, but when he does, he uses other people, or the enemy will use other men or other human beings to suppress people that may not be as well off as other people. That's right, that's right, that's right, that's right. So we're going to get into it today. We hope that you'll enjoy the broadcast. Like I said, we want to hear from you. Please go on our Facebook page, like us. Also join be a follower on our Twitter page as well. LinkedIn, we're on there every day. I'm sending out encouraging words just for men, and sometimes the message can be for women as well. But we're there to do these things to encourage you. All right, so please join us, call us, go to our website at www.themsffidelis.com, and go down to the bottom of the far right hand corner and leave a comment, please. We want to hear from you and let us know how we're doing, how you're liking the broadcast. If you got any suggestions, give us a call or send us an email, you know, and we'll be more than glad to answer it. And if men out there that want to contact us about a situation or some things that he may be going through, please give us a call. Everything that will be said will be held in deepest confidentiality. We will not release that. That's between us and God. All right, so don't worry about that. We don't do those type of things here at MSF. So we're going to get Brother Dwight to start us off tonight. He's going to start off with our scripture, as we always try to do here. We are a Christian-based organization, and we're not here to beat you over the head with the word, but we're here to love you that you may come to Christ. So we always try to do things in the right way, in decency and order, but we want to let you know, yes, we are Christian-based, but we're here to give you words that you're not going to hear in the street, or you're not going to hear in the church. So we're not, as a church, we're a ministry, but we're trying to bridge the gap between the street and the church to connect it back so we can start informing men on the things that they're going through and confront these issues, so you can be better prepared to be a good provider, be a good leader, and be a good protector. Brother Dwight.
I will be coming from Isaiah chapter 3, verses 1 through 12. And when I read it, just think about this day and time,
yes,
as far as with men, or men being oppressed and things like that.
Yes,
we're using the Bible to connect actuality and events that's occurring today.
That's correct. Correct.
So 4, behold, the Lord of hosts, do take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water. The mighty man and the man of war, the judge and the prophet and the prudent and the ancient.
Yes.
The captain of 50 and the honorable man and the counselor and the cunning artificial, and the elephant author. And I will give children to be their princess, and babies shall rule over them. And babies shall rule over them. And the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, and everyone by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. When a man shall take hold of his brother of the house of his father, saying, Thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand.
Yes.
And that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be an healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing.
Yes.
Make me not a ruler of the people. For Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doing are against the Lord, to provoke the eyes of his glory.
Yes.
The sewer of their countenance do wickedness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe into their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves.
Yes.
Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doom.
Yes.
Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him. As for my people, children are their oppressor,
Yes.
and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy path.
Yes. Powerful. What does that mean to you, Brother Dwight, when you read that, when it talks about the young children going to rule over you, and also women as well going to rule over them? What is that telling you about today's society and the way we live?
I don't know, when I was reading a lot of things, information was coming to me like it was going all over the place as far as like prophecy. From a male standpoint or from the youth, if you look at it today, the youth being put down so much, you do see them. You do see them arising. Right now, you don't see, if you see a group of youth sitting on the corner or you see an older man, 9 out of 10, that man gonna want to be like their youth instead of that man giving information or intel or what we talk about, parental guidance or something more better than, hey, you don't have to do this, this is another way out and things like that. So you see the older people trying to be like more like the youth. And then character, and the women today, you see them, because man was beat down so much, then you see women being in charge. And women is doing everything they equal as what they're supposed to do.
And that,
It looked like the enemy hit 2 birds with 1 stone.
That's what he did. And that's what happened. And we talked about this last week on our broadcast, is that through feminism, how feminism has raised when it started in the garden, and how one little crack she allowed the enemy to come in to deceive her through the thoughts. Because we know that feminism is based on ideologies and different thought patterns of what to have freedoms on certain things, which is fine. But once the enemy comes in, he'll make that little crack into a wide river. And then, as you see now, it has spiraled into where we are now today. They want everything. They want to be treated like men. But that ain't how God created it. So that's why we have a problem. So now we got, you got youth out there ruling the streets. I mean, they're ruling everything. Because we, as a society, we have submitted ourselves, or we have allowed the enemy to come in and take control of everything, and we've been subservient to the ideals of this world. You know, I was reading something today, Brother Dwight, this morning, after I sent out the messages, is that we are suppressed, or we are run by a society of social opinion. And what I mean by that is that we're more worried about what people are going to say and then what the word says.
That's right. Exactly.
we're scared by what people say, what they think about us.
I put a post up last night on Facebook, and it said that you weren't about people approval.
That's right.
But you weren't about.
That's right. That's right. That's
people,
right.
so they are so what's the right word? People so worried about being approved by others that they forget that it's only one person who you be worried about being approved by, which is God. It's God.
That's right. And that's where the problem comes in. That's why we're in the problem we're in today, because we've allowed that to happen, and now we're afraid of these young black men out here in the streets, and we don't understand, or a lot of people don't understand why we're in that situation. But it's all biblical. It's right. The word right there. It tells us why. So we're going to get into this lesson tonight. 3 things I want you to remember as we get into this lesson tonight. 1, we say, why are we so afraid of young black men? 1, I'm going to give you the first one. Ignorance. Ignorance. 2, I'm going to say, and we used to say this back in the 60s and 70s, ignorance to the black experience and what black people go through. And it didn't start with black people, because we're going to get into this and see how it all evolved from the beginning to now. Number 2, lack of understanding. All right? Lack of understanding. And 3, selfishness. When you only think about you, yourself, and I, that's where the problem starts right there, because you're not worried about nobody else, and you start worrying about just yourself. That creates a bigger problem. All right? That creates a bigger problem. So let's get into it tonight. Some of these things you're going to hear, we talked a little bit about this on the last week's broadcast, because we had to get into this, but it also is going to lead into tonight's broadcast, so you can see how we're going to lay the foundation and see why we are at where we're at today in society, and why we are so afraid of young black men. Not only black people, but white people mainly are afraid. And we want to get into, we want to dive down into this, Brother Dwight, to see why it was like that, how it was created, and what we can do to solve these issues.
Basic presumptions or preposition, about manhood journey. Manhood is in a state of confusion.
Yes. We talked about that last week. Yes, sir.
Confused man create major mistakes.
Oh, that's correct.
Confused man settle for less.
That's correct.
There is no lofty vision of manhood today that's compelling to men.
Okay, can you elaborate a little bit on, talk about a vision? There's no compelling vision to compel man to move forward, or they don't know what manhood is. What does that mean to you as a young man?
Well, from my understanding, how I can relate it to my life is that if I didn't have the understanding that I have now come to this manhood class or being a part of the organization, I don't see nobody else that's doing nothing on this level or what it is to be a man, or digging deep as a man to face your fears or to face your weakness and understand from a broad range. I see everybody either self trying to be money hungry, or streets and things like that, or numerous women and things like that. Everybody have their own. Everything that they're doing is basically is corrupt, and it's a trick of the enemy. Now that I have the understanding, now I can say that. But without it, I wouldn't know where to go.
Okay. That's
honest standpoint.
Okay. Very powerful. All right, brother.
The manhood maze. Where did we get off track? This dramatic transition literally joined the role of men in America, once farmers and the children of farmers. These men exchanged their work around their homes and families for new occupation and factories. In most cases, this new situation required men to leave their homes for long periods of time.
That's right. All right. So that was one of the downfalls right there. One of the downfalls why we're in a situation today with our youth is because when there were real men around, the actual factory jobs in the 40s and 50s after World War II, in 1945, it took those men and drew them away from the home. So then, when the women's rights came around, we talk about feminism movement of the 60s, the second half, we talked about this last week, the second half of that, when they wanted more rights so they could do something by themselves. So when we as men don't feel appreciated, right, we talk about, and we don't feel that we're being valued, and you say you can do things your own, or we feel then you don't need us, okay, we'll plant our seed, we'll have sex, and we'll go, you on your own.
That's right.
So from that point on, that's why we are in part of the situation, is why we're in the situation why we're in now, is because how the enemy comes in to change our thinking and to look at things differently, but in reality, It's the devil in disguise. He's destroying us, and we don't even see it.
You're trying to cut it as much as possible.
That's right. That's right. Exactly.
Where are the men who keeps their marriage vows, who accept responsibility,
Yes.
who honor women, who raise up male wealthy sons,
Yes.
who invest in their community, who are clear about their masculinity,
Yes.
who have been launched into manhood by other men?
Now, that's the key. Since you're a young man in your 20s, you're 20, what are you, 23? You're 23 now. In your 23 years old, no, I can't say 23 years because you didn't know when you was younger. From age of 13 to 23, how many times or have you had the experience of seeing another man or a group of men launch a young man into manhood?
On manhood that I've seen people been launched into as a male, gangs, pornography, mistreating women, selfishness. That's on the manhood that I've seen.
So,
the wrong one.
That's the wrong one. So what you're telling me, from your teenage years to now, your early adult years, you saying you have not experienced that one instant where a true man has led you or anybody you knew into actual true manhood where they could be very, very productive in their life.
Not prior to me joining this organization.
And that's sad. That's sad.
Even with the church will teach you from a...
Go ahead and say it, brother.
The church would teach you, and this from experience as well too, the church would teach you, I guess, the first layer. But actually out there, another layer, another layer. You have to get to the core.
You got to get to the core.
Just to get to the core.
Yes, sir.
Understand.
Absolutely right.
Understand all the different levels of the
Absolutely right.
A man,
Absolutely.
issues, and things like that. Because people say, if you get on your faith wall, you don't have issues. But the thing is, how do you know what issue you're dealing with?
There you go. That's right.
So you did deep.
That's right. That's right. And I'm glad Brother Dwight said that because it hits home with me too. Because I was never 20. Didn't know nothing about manhood. What is manhood? What does that mean to me? I didn't know none of that until God spoke to me through T.D. Jakes' books, through his book, through that book that started this organization, He Motions. That if we don't really have men in our, we're suffering with problems. Where do we go with those problems? And if I didn't know nobody, and being in ministry for 30 years, I did not hear not one preacher ever say that. Not one. All I hear is a salvation message. You need to be saved. Okay, I understand that. I know we need to be saved, but there's more to life that God wants you to be more productive and blessed just being saved. How are you going to lead a young man that's out there in trouble, going through trial and tribulation, if you're not a true man, you don't know what manhood is? How can you lead him? So really, it's the blind leading the blind. So you're saying, okay, manhood, okay, I understand you said manhood, but what is manhood? What is it? Is it chasing women? Is it go selling drugs on the street, having a nice car, having a job? No, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Manhood is, like you said, it's much deeper now. You come into the class and being here for 2 years now you can understand what the real issue of what manhood really is. And now you can understand, because now when you get in the pulpit and start preaching, then you can say, good God, this is something that makes you get to your people, because they ain't gonna understand, they have not been taught this stuff.
That's right. That's right.
Man, it's just mind blowing. Good God, man. All right, Brother Dwight, come on, move.
The present awakening. Men today know they are missing something, but what is it?
Yes.
Clueless.
That's what we just said. I'm clueless. I'm still clueless. So I'm learning.
Masculinity wound.
Yes.
Masculinity. Gappy hole. To reflect back on the relationship with or without their father.
Yes.
Want to understand but feel empty, lost and misunderstood, not dead. The whole textbook of man brain being lost and can't find no way out.
There it is. So it just tells right there in descriptive manner that we're lost. All manhood is lost. Every last one of us are lost because we have not been taught these basics. All we know about manhood, like you said, brother, and I've always said this, the only way we learn to be be a man, is by what we see on TV and what we see in the streets. That's all we know. Because if that's not the truth, then why are our young black men, and not only black men, white boys as well, why do they